Alright, hello everyone, and welcome back again to the channel. Today, we got an iPhone 12 that has been dropped pretty badly, and the whole screen is cracked up, and the touchscreen isn't working either. It was working before, but it just works whenever it wants to, and the body of the phone is kind of bent as well. Pretty sure you guys can see it. Let's see, right there. I mean, I'm not sure if you guys can tell, but it is bent, so yeah. The thing is that I got this phone for myself, so I'm gonna be repairing the screen and probably swapping out the body of the phone as well, and we'll have ourselves another camera to be able to record with two angles, which will obviously give us a better quality videos. So that's one good thing. So yeah, let's just directly get to it. It's the usual. We just have to get the two screws out from underneath. Let's see if I can get it in the camera to focus. Right there. And yeah. The thing is, I was just recording how to take out the screen. But since I had my phone hooked onto an adapter and then with an HDMI cable to a monitor to be able to see what I'm actually doing, what happened was the phone just got super hot and the camera decided to just stop recording because it said, hey, it's too hot, so I lost all the footage. So the only problem with that is that, well, now it's not as realistic, because the thing with iPhone 12 screens on is that they became super delicate, and the bezels are really thin, and the screens in general are very thin, and they're super hard to take apart, especially if it had never been opened before. Now this phone had never been opened before, so it was a little more realistic looking when I first opened it, but now it will just come off like it's nothing. The thing is, there are different ways to take apart the screen. My favorite way to do it is to get a prying tool, and since we have a broken screen that we do not care about at all, since the touch doesn't even work most of the times, we just get a prying knife, put it in between the screen and the body, as you guys can see right over there, somewhere there, more or less. You just need something thin to get in. You can even use a razor blade. Just press it down straight. Once it gets in, you just pull up on the screen, create a little bit of space there, and you're good to go. You just hold that there, don't move it too much, get a pick in there, put it in, and you're good to go. You get rid of the prying tool and you just go around the edges with the pick and get the screen out. Now again, this looks a lot easier now that I'm doing this, recording it again, because I already opened it before, but it's the same idea, only that if you are taking apart a screen that has, well, never been taken apart before, it's going to be a little more sticky, a little bit harder. So you can just apply hot air, even get some alcohol in between there to just make your life a lot easier. But yeah, we just get this through, we pry up, and we're almost there, really. And remember, from iPhone 12 on, the screens open from the left side, unlike with the previous versions where it was from the right. So yeah, they changed that up a little bit, but hey, that's about it. So we just pry up on that, and we're in. Welcome. Yeah, from there on, it's just the same old story, like with every other iPhone, just a little different screw placement. So we got 2 here and 4 right over here. So let's just get those apart real quick and get this over with. Now, you have to remember that from iPhone 11 on, with the screens, every time you replace the screen, it's going to show you a message of a non-genuine screen part and blah blah blah, which is basically Apple's way of preventing other people from getting repairs anywhere else but at Apple, which, well, the reason they do that is because they can charge you ridiculous amounts of money for a screen replacement, like $500 or something like that, when the phone is not really even worth that much used, at least. So yeah, that's just their way of preventing all of that from happening. But yeah, really the message doesn't bother or do anything aside from showing up once, just letting you know that it's there, and it will always stay there in settings. The good thing is, smart people around the world have figured out a way around it, and I will show you a way around it, and I will probably make a separate video on that in the future, since I plan on doing that as well. So we just disconnect the battery here, and we gotta disconnect the screen. We have one cable here, and then another cable right underneath that. We just get that loose, and there we go. And then we just have to get the Face ID module, which is right this one. We pop that one right out, and we have ourselves the screen loose. There we go. That's its original screen. Now, this chip right over here is the one that contains the information about the original screen. Basically, it's serialized, yes? And every time you place another screen without this chip being recognized by the motherboard, it's just going to say it's not an original screen, blah, 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 this and that. So, the way to fix and get around that, which I'll do a separate video on later, which is a little more of a complex video, but it's a cool thing. There are these screens that you can get your hands on that come without that chip off, basically. So you have the pads right over there, which is what I got, as you can see. And what you basically have to do is get this chip from here and solder it onto that one over there. And that way, even with a not original screen, let's say, you still don't get that message. So that's basically the way around that. We're not going to do that in this video because that just takes a lot of time, and it's micro soldering and it's just a different topic. So for now, we're just going to stick to basic screen replacement. We just have to get the Face ID module out. I'm not sure why the camera is just refusing to focus there. There we go. Sorry. So yeah, we got 4 screws to take apart and we're good to go. And it's a different screwdriver again. So we just get the regular Phillips screwdriver and get these out. One over here. Let me see if I can flip it upside down so it's a little more visible. I guess. Yes, we have one over right here. One right over here. That is a different screwdriver, and the small one. So you just have to keep these ones in order and you'll be good to go, really. Just place them as you get them out. I already know the order, and the small one especially, you can't put them in the other big slots. So yeah, that's about it. After that, we just need to get this module off. Now we just have to be extremely careful here because we don't want to break anything. So the best way to do this, in my opinion, is to get some alcohol. Just get some alcohol, get a little bit over there, let it soak a little bit, and then you just pull it off. This part just comes off, which is the loudspeaker, and then the rest of the parts you can just, there are different ways of doing this again, but I just get a plastic spudger or even some of that, the same prying knife, and I just get underneath the cables and gently and softly pry up on them without pushing too hard or anything. If they don't want to come out, be patient and figure out other ways around it. So one way of doing it is just to plastic spudger. You just get underneath, pry up softly, and if it refuses, give it a little more alcohol and even some heat. It really wouldn't bother. So let's just directly do that to make this a lot faster. You just get your hot air gun. Don't put it too high because you don't want to burn anything. And you just apply some heat from up top and from the bottom. Well, from there basically. So yeah, just get some heat in there. Get it nice and warm. Not too much, and not too hot either, because it is all plastic over there. So like 100 degrees will do. Degrees Celsius, of course. So yeah. And you just gently pry up on the pieces. You do want to check and make sure that you're prying up at the right place. But yeah, with some hot air, just like that, it just clicks out, really. And we're almost there. We just have the microphone left, which is stuck on this side, so we just, again, go in with the knife, and we're out. There we go. So yeah, you just keep the original screen away somewhere. Right, let me get rid of the hot air noise. There we go. And yeah, we get our hands on the new screen. I do like to remove these stickers because I really don't like them. I don't think they really bother if you leave them on, but why? Why leave them on? I don't like it. It's plastic. I don't want plastic. So yeah, I just get rid of them, put them away. And the first thing we gotta do is just install this back in place. So it has its places right over there. So you can see, let me get a plastic spudger. Right here is where the microphone goes. In that little spot is where the ambient sensor is, I think that's what it's called. And the other side is just the Face ID module part. I think it's the flood eliminator or something like that. Not sure what they're called, honestly. So yeah, you just get them placed correctly. Right over there. Everything should just really pop into its place because they're all designed for them. There you go. Like that piece goes in there. And then you just lay that flat. Let me see if I can get that into the frame better. But yeah, you just click all the pieces in and let's see. And then you just check and make sure everything is properly aligned. Let me see if I can get it to focus. So yeah, everything in its right spot. Make sure everything is nice and pressed down, nothing is sticking out. And then you get your screwdrivers and get everything screwed back on. I like to start with the small one. I don't know why, but it's just a preference thing, honestly. There we go. This other one right over here. It really helps to have magnetic screwdrivers, otherwise your life just becomes a lot more complicated. And yeah, let's just switch screwdrivers again. Get these two over there. There we go. You probably couldn't see that, but it's just screwing everything back on. I mean, that's just nothing complicated. So yeah, once you've done that, you get your phone back and you install the screen. Now remember, you don't want to force anything. If it doesn't want to connect from the first time, you just want to give it a few tries. It should just click in place just like that easily, but it does sometimes take a little bit of practice. Yeah, you want to make sure the battery is always disconnected. You don't connect anything before, you don't connect anything if the battery is already connected. Yeah, so before disconnecting it. So yeah, it just takes a little bit of aligning sometimes. I'm not sure if you can even see it, but I am trying to align it with the, let me see if I can get it into frame. You just have to and there we go. And then you just connect the battery, leave the screen hanging on top, and turn on. And there we go, we got Apple logo. So while it's booting up, you can just hold your screen just like this. There are screen holders for this, and I do recommend getting them. I have one for myself. It's just that I'm recording at a super uncomfortable angle right now, and I need to step up my recording game, and there was no way for me to fit that whole device into this frame. I'm honestly barely fitting in the phone. So yeah, can't really show you with the device that I'm talking about, but hey, you get the idea. You get the screwdrivers and you screw these plates back on. One thing that I'm not going to do with this phone, since the body of it is really bent, is fully place down the screen, because it might end up cracking it if I put pressure on it. So, but you get the idea. It will just mostly get you through the repair of this part. You just place it back on, get the screws. You just really want to secure one properly, and that will just hold everything else in place and align for you. And yeah, just place the screws in the order that you take them out and you'll be good to go. That way you don't have to remember which one goes where, which one is longer than the other one, and such. So yeah, we just screw those back on. And we're done, basically. Just get the, you can test the screen, make sure everything is working properly and this and that. There we go. See, that's the message I was talking about, the important display message, unable to determine so you just click OK and it's gone, but it does stay up there forever. For example, see, if you go to general settings and you go about the phone, it will say over there, there you go, parts and service history, display, unknown part, and that says unable to determine if your iPhone display is genuine Apple part. That's literally what this chip does. Basically all it does is tell the motherboard that it's the same serial number, so it's the same screen, blah blah blah, and this message doesn't pop up. But I mean, if you just go back, you'll just have the notification there, but that's about it. Nothing else to worry about. So yeah, that wraps it up for the repair. From now on, you just have to properly align your screen with the edges and just gently press down. You don't want to press too hard. If it doesn't want to go in, just go over it with gentle and kind hands. Don't press down on anything. I'm not going to press down on the screen because, as I said, it's a little bit bent here, so I can press it down and it will end up cracking the screen. It's possible. I don't want to take the risk. So yeah, but what you have to do is just align it, press it down, get the two screws from the bottom that are over here, you get them placed inside, and you're good to go. That wraps it up for your iPhone repair video, iPhone 12 at least. So yeah, just remember to be very careful if you don't want to break the screen, to apply a lot of hot air and just remove it with a specialized tool or a suction cup where you pry up, and don't put a knife in there like I did, because well, if you really don't care about the screen, you're replacing it and you just want to get it over with quickly, the knife or a prying tool is the best way to go. But yeah, that wraps it up. I'll probably do another iPhone repair video soon, and then I'll do a video on how to exchange the chip, to how to put the chip on this screen so that we don't get that display message. And meanwhile, I also have to do a video on how to change the body, but it's just a video that takes like 2 hours, so I'm not really sure if I want to record a 2-hour video because it's not really entertaining to watch. I'll have to figure out what I do. Maybe I can use the whole phone as a donor phone, I guess, while I'm taking everything apart to do a tutorial on how to remove everything. I'll have to figure it out. But yeah, for now, this is it. Thank you for watching, and I hope this helps you somehow with your own repair. Thank you for watching again, and I'll see you around. Take care.